They always come back. They're there forever. It's a very resilient place, and it's a pleasure to be a part of such a great heritage of musicians and the culture that we have down in New Orleans. And I've been very fortunate to be a product of that. And it's been very, 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 very good for me and for people that we make happy around the world, because that's what we do. We bring happiness. You know, not only New Orleans musicians, but all the musicians in general. We therapists, you know, so but we make you happy without a pill.
You said that you revolutionized the big bands in the 70s. What exactly did you do?
Not big bands, brass bands.
Brass bands, sorry.
But it also filtered into other bands too. We took a little bit. In our band, it was a variation of ages. Roger Lewis, which is our senior member in the back, he's at the age of 73 now. And at the time, I was the youngest before Ephraim came, and I was at the age of 17. So we collaborated together about generations of music, and we collaborated together with the street beat, the old street beat, and a little bit of the modern beat too, and a lot of our heritage of Caribbean style music, a lot of traditional songs of that thing. But it was partly brass bands were almost going away at that period. It was at a crossroads, and by chance we were blessed to be the ones to step in at that time to revolutionize it. We tried to be a traditional band. We tried to be like the older brass bands, playing the older songs. But it was no way to make a living at that time. It was really hard to sustain life, you know. I mean, you know, you need finances to live. And having another job takes you away from playing your music. So we've collaborated together on a lot of originals, and also collaborated on taking some pop songs and, arranged it for the streets, which woke up a lot of minds. I mean, it's like Roger Lewis. He was doing that era of the bebop era. So, and rhythm and blues. So all that, and then Ephraim and I, we like 3 years apart, but we were like up the modern time of that, Michael Jackson and stuff like that. So, and then we also had our foundation of, you know, your River Street parades, things like that, and, you know, and hymns, you know, and gospel hymns. But what I mean by revolutionary was, like I said, we modernized it to where it reached the younger minds. Because, you know, unfortunately, a lot of the industry doesn't give you all the music you need to understand that it's not just what you hear on the radio. There's a lot more music to life than what you hear on the radio. And in New Orleans, you have a chance to experience that on the streets or in clubs or at festivals.
And you got to also realize, New Orleans our music is part of a culture, and we just one part of the culture. The other part of the culture is the people who participate and listen to the music. They have different ways that they dance and react to the music that we play, and so, you know, their generation grew up also respecting the music that came before us, but also they came at a time like Kirk and I came up. So we had a whole new generation of people who found new ways to do the second line. And when you hear this term second line, it's basically an expression. You know, it's an individual expressions of yourself dancing. And so the other part of the culture is these, you know, the people, the second liners, they dancing to what you do. And so we had a whole revolutionize. They revolutionized the way the people second line. You know, it was
not only the music changed, but also the way people dance.
It's a beautiful thing to see it. You know, you play the music, and each person who's dancing with you, they actually lock in on you, and you have to see it. So the culture is so rich, and so we just one part of it, and the culture grew also, and so we revitalized the whole thing together. Not only with the musicians, but also the people who participate and help, you know, fund some of the things. It's different social clubs, you know, funding and giving us a chance to be able to play baseball games and baby showers and parades, funerals, whatever, you know. So It's a whole lot of different parts of it. So it's a great culture we have down there.
Doodaddies, do you get many opportunities to play baseball games?
We try to steer clear of balls.
So no cricket even?
But just it's funny. He said that we actually played a baseball game. It was a club that we were playing for in the beginning days, and the bet was if we win the game, that we would get paid, but we didn't have to play. But if we lost, we have to play for free. So it kind of worked hand in hand.
So we made a long gig.
Yeah.
What's the scene like in WA? Can you make a living at it?
No, you can't really make a living out of playing the blues in WA, but we do have a blues club that operates once a week, and that's been going for 22 years. And we do a thing there called Harp Attack. These little tin sandwiches, they call them blues harps, and there's quite a few blues musicians there, and we'll get 150, couple hundred people to the blues club quite often, and we also play in other places around Perth. Last Friday we were playing at a bowling club, and people, this is lawn bowls. We don't pick up the ball. We don't. and they're starting to sort of revitalise these clubs, because lawn bowls traditionally is for people that wear white clothes with white domed hats on, and they drive around very slowly in Volvo cars. And but now what they're doing to revitalise the club, they'll have these sunset bowling matches, and people can go onto the green. They have bare feet, and they can take their drinks on there, their wine and that. And we play inside the club, and people get up and dance. There might be maybe 50 people there, and 30 people will be dancing in front of us. It's really good fun. And the couple of weeks before that, we actually played in a kitchen at a house party where someone had gutted their kitchen and they were going to get the floor sanded. So they thought, well, it's a good opportunity to have a band.
We were the ready crew.
Yeah, and that was great fun. So playing at a house party. And we also go down, there's a festival down south of Perth, about 3 hours down south, called the Bridgetown Blues Festival. And they get a couple of international acts and interstate acts, and we've often played there, and we played there last year. So there's quite a few opportunities, but we don't often play twice a week, maybe once a week, so we're not making a living at it. But one thing about it is it's good for the spirit, and it keeps us happy, and we're really enjoying ourselves.
Just to probably take that a bit further, I think you'll find if you're a player and you're out playing a lot, a lot of musicians will play in 3 or 4 bands if you want to get regular work. And then I guess it's a matter of if you could probably enlist with an agent and get a lot of corporate work, which can be fun at times, but a little bit soul crushing when you're sitting there at the new launch of a Toyota car or something like that. It's not really a vibrant blues scene, but nonetheless, we still make the most of it. So yeah, I guess as a player, often a lot of guys will play in a few bands. Blues for us is a very niche market as well. So yeah, you do get a very devout following of people, and they're keeping the blues alive and well, and that's a great thing. And festivals like this. Also wonderful in that area, so well done.
How often do you play festivals, like overseas?
Very rarely. This is the 3rd one. If you count going over to Rottnest, we have been across there, but that's only a 45-minute ferry ride from Perth. So yeah, no, we don't even go over to the East Coast. The guitarist in the band goes over to the East Coast and sometimes plays with the band that he used to play over there with for many years. But it's pretty expensive to get to the other side of Australia, so they'd probably...
It's closer.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the 3rd time we've been overseas. Yeah. But it's a buzz, man. It's fantastic. Yeah.
Is that because you've got to keep day jobs? Do you keep day jobs?
We certainly do keep day jobs. Yeah. If you want to know what I do. You?
Yeah, sure.
I'm not going to tell you. I'll tell you. Go be up front. I'm actually a school teacher. Yeah, I'm a school teacher. Yeah. And I teach what you might, in America they used to call it shop, I believe. But and when I first started teaching, it was called manual arts, but now it's called design and technology. But I teach woodwork, metalwork, technical drawing and photography.
Heavy metal work or?
Well, I tell the kids they give me the blues, and that's what keeps me doing playing well, you know. So, yeah. But yeah, sometimes I play the tin sandwich for the kids. I remember one time there was a teacher in another classroom, and he had a particularly rowdy group of students, and he was teaching them technical drawing, and they'd be misbehaving, you know, throwing aeroplanes across the room and poking the other kids with compasses and all that sort of things. You know what kids are like, or some kids. And they were hard to control, man. You know, sometimes if you're in a classroom with a bunch of students that don't want to cooperate, an hour can feel like a month. And he used to tell these particular kids that if they were good, he'd get Mr. Billing to come in for the last 10 minutes to play the harmonica for them. Because they'd all be good, you know. So that was a bit of a rev up for me, you know. Yeah.
So Bob Dylan was touring regularly in Perth to play the harp? Oh, yours.
Well, let's not talk about Bob Dylan's harmonica playing, eh? He's a good composer.
Anthony, can you tell us about your beginnings, how you got into this?
So I've always been crazy about music since a really young age, like playing pots and pans in the kitchen when I was 2, trying to make grooves and stuff. And then awesome parents gave me sort of the lessons and education, musical education that I needed. And at 17 I went to music school, and I was meant to be studying clarinet, but I was jamming on the piano most of the day, and they said, well, maybe you should have piano lessons. And they asked me if I wanted to do jazz or classical, and I was quite lazy when I was younger, so I thought jazz sounds like less work. And little did I know. But yeah, I sort of, once I had an hour a week with this great jazz teacher, I sort of really, as soon as the hour was over, I was looking forward to the next lesson, and the sort of sound of the jazz harmony is kind of what got me hooked. And from there I went to study at the Guildhall School of Music, where I did lots of session playing, lots of miming and TV work and corporate work, and I saved up some money and made my own first record, which then got me an agent and then a manager. Then I did some European touring, and that's when we started getting offers from labels, European labels. So yeah, I quite a traditional route into it, but lots of great teachers, and lots of studying, and now lots of touring.
Can you tell us about the musicians that were accompanying you this time? Are they the
Sure.
same lineup or?
It's I think it's a slightly different lineup from the last time I was here, if I remember rightly. But these guys are the guys I tour with all the time now. So Dave Ohm is on drums, who's at Ronnie Scott's regular all the time in London. Spencer Brown is on bass, who's just a solid swinging cat. Gavin Broom is on trumpet, who's someone I went to college with, and so is Alan Nathu on trumpet and tenor sax, respectively. So yeah, all London guys, and then my sort of 18 touring guys.
I just got a quick question for Ephraim.
Sure.
Did you find any chitlins in Miri?
No, no chitlins. I don't think I've seen bacon in Miri. No bacon at all. No chitlins unless you get cow chitlins on. But I tell you, the food here is great. Everything I've eaten here is just ridiculously good. I mean, I'm really having a blast. I probably need a bigger size pants when I leave. But no chitlins.
I asked this question yesterday to the other band members. How has the Borneo Jazz impacted your fans, echo, that you have been here before? So how has it impacted your followers, fans, families, and things like that? Do you use social media to connect with them, and how people are asking you where's Borneo, stuff like that?
I'm quite sure it has impacted, some form of my playing and some form of my fans, because, we travel many places. They know Paris, they know London, and they've heard of Australia, New Zealand, but where's Borneo? And it's a beautiful place here, and it just goes to show you that, there's more to the world than sometimes that, that the world knows about, and so therefore, I think it's impacted a lot of people, because many people may have not have heard of Borneo, and now they want to know where Borneo is. If you can go over there and play in Borneo, who is the people in Borneo want to bring you over there and have you play? So I'm quite sure it has to have some effect on someone. So hopefully, maybe next time we come here, we can bring a host of our fans with us, and they can know where Borneo is.
I used to take a picture of the crowd when I was on stage, just like a snap, little memory for me, put it on Facebook, and the crowd in Miri was so awesome, so like up for a party, that I did a little selfie with the audience, and it was one of the best pictures I've ever taken, and it's one of the, so something that I just chucked on Facebook, or Instagram, whatever it was, but it's one of the best pictures I've ever had, and it just reminds me of Miri and Borneo and what a great party and a great time we had. So in that respect, and a lot of people, I think it's, what am I trying to say? I think people know. I know I've got friends in London who know where Borneo is, right? They don't know about Miri per se, but they know about Borneo. But I think seeing that, they were like, wow, there's something heavy going on in Borneo Jazz Festival. This isn't a little band here. This is a party. This is a real sort of celebration. So yeah, that one memory for me was something that I definitely took away.
I have a question for you. So this festival's been going on for 10 years now, right? So how you think the people, the local people, and the people that come to your festival, how you think they're really receiving all the music that you bring every year? Is it enlightening them to other parts of the world, like it should be? You think? It's a question. Think about it. That's what it's about. Because my first, like Ephraim was saying, and music for us, that's our life. We don't have any day jobs. That's what we do. Fortunately, being in New Orleans, we're blessed to do that. But like I said, I'm from a musical family, and so my father and brothers, they played around the world, blah blah blah. But when it came to my turn, I was always fearful that the people would not receive what we had updated. I was really scared, but they did, and it was a great thing to see people get on board. Because like I said, it goes back to what you don't always get from the industry. The Dirty Dots, like I said, now you have bands like Rebird and bands all around the world, Black Parliament, Japan, and French, Zygos, and all these places. But, it's not always the one that brings it to you. You always get the accolades. And what I mean by that, meaning your Grammys or whatever. But we haven't received that. We've been nominated a lot of times. We've gotten a lot of awards, but your main awards we haven't, for whatever. Because a lot of times the first group is the group that's sometimes overlooked. The ones who put the hard work in is always overlooked. Because that's just the way the business goes. But we're thankful for your festival for bringing us here. We really are. That means a lot. Like I said, it's my first time. It's the band's second or third time. But it's my first time here, and like I said, the people here are very well received, very, very pleasant. And I think the little while we had last night's jam session, it was great. So I'm looking forward to the show tonight. So please have on your dancing shoes and let everything loose. Let all your worries go. Okay? Because we want full participation. All right?
Well, we had a lot of fans come down to see us at the bowling club and wish us well. And people from us on the other side of Australia on Facebook, you know, they sent, you know, congratulations. And my friend told me to break a leg, but I was very careful because I'd broken my shoulder about a month or two before, and that hasn't got better. So, and also people in Canada, and another harmonica player that was over in Perth recently for a festival that we have just out of Perth called the Fairbridge Festival, which is a sort of a world festival where they have folk music and blues and music from all around the world, Scotland and Ireland, etc. And it's a great festival actually. We've played there several times, and we bring our young family there in the caravan and camp there. And you know, the little kids would go and learn how to play the ukulele or the penny whistle, the harmonica, and really fun festival. Anyway, Joe Felisko was over from Chicago with Eric Noden, and we made friends, and so he wished us well, and I was suggesting to John Lynn that they'd be a great act to get here, so it's a bit of good chance to sort of link up other musos and sort of spread the talent around, the fantastic talent that's out there in the world, and you know, give other people an opportunity to check out that sort of fantastic entertainment. Yeah. So yeah, Facebook worked for us, but it's good like that, but it can be absolutely insane rubbish. So you gotta be careful.
I think when we came here in 2008 and we come back, a lot of our muso friends are going, "Oh, far out! What's this festival in Miri?" I said, "How do we get on the bill?" And I went, "Bugger off! I'm not going to tell you." It's our festival. So no, they were blown away. The pictures and there's been great press out for it. So it's really gained some awareness, and certainly now with social media, we've been peppering that and making sure everybody's aware. My family came out and met me in Kona Kinabalu last time I was over here, and they were blown away. It was a very warm culture, gorgeous food. I think I put on about 5 kilos. It was horrible. I had to climb Mount Kinabalu to try and get back into shape, but I ended up falling down, unfortunately. And that was definitely something I took back from Borneo, a football-sized bruise on my leg. But no, it was so yeah. Hopefully, a lot of the other bands in Australia, we've got some great bands down there that would love to come up here and just share their music with you. So we'll see what happens.
Any more questions? All right, we're done. Oh, you have a question?
This is the 10th year of the Miri Jazz Festival in Borneo. Prior to 10 years ago, what music festivals you had here for jazz, if any?
We had one down in Kuching. It's called the.
Yeah, that was 2 years prior to this festival.
Yeah, Kuching Jazz.
2 years before they started.
Kuching Jazz, organized by the City Council in Kuching. But then again, at that time, we wanted to find a festival in Miri that could attract cross-border visitors arrivals, and we said, let's do a musical. So came up with the Miri Jazz Festival at that time, and then we rebranded it to Borneo Jazz, I think about 3 years ago? 5 years ago. 5 years ago. Time flies, eh?
I want to thank you guys for putting on the festival here in Miri, in Borneo, because you introduce a whole world of people to all the music that we do. Probably wouldn't get a chance to hear what we do because, you know, some of our music's not in the mainstream, so we'd like to really extend a warm hand for you guys helping things, you know, come along here in the great city of Miri and the people out of Borneo. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, if there's no further questions, Moblo was supposed to join us, but apparently they're still in the skies. I'm going to be landing soon, so I think they'll be probably after lunch. I'm not quite sure whether there's a press conference for them. If not, we'll see them at the main stage. Yeah? So once again, thank you so much, Doodaddies, Dirty Dozen, and of course Anthony. And that we've got here they are. Ladies and gentlemen.
Moblo.
Moblo. the nick of time. Okay, catch a breath. No pressure. Tell us about your flight, probably.
Our flight, yes. Just arrived 5 minutes ago.
Good question.
And if you see this face after 24 hours of flight, very fresh and excited because of this festival. So it's all because of this festival. So we are really powerful and energetic still after this 24 hours. Because we remember very well our appearance 2 years ago when we were here, and so we are really honored, and it's very great to be invited again and to be back in Miri at Borneo Jazz Festival. So thanks for having us.
Any questions? Or
Sir, can you kindly tell us your name and
Oh, sorry, my name is Moglo. No, that's a band. And I'm the one on the very right, Felix Falk. I'm the saxophone player, didgeridoo, and a little percussion instruments. So I'm one of 4 people, and the others went straight to the pool or into the bed. I don't know.
can you tell us about the performance tonight? What can we expect to see on stage? Something unexpected, spontaneous stuff?
Well, if it's unexpected, I can't tell you now, because it's obvious. But there will be something unexpected, and also there will be pure jazz funk from Germany, so our own expression of very groovy, jazzy, funky music. Originals, so our own songs. Also some songs which demand the audience to react. So the better the audience will be, the better we are. And when we remember our concert 2 years ago, the audience was great. So I don't have any worries about tonight. It will be very energetic. And as I said, we are a classic, somehow classic band. It's piano, bass, drums, and saxophone. But we try to make it not very classic. We mix it with 3 different saxophones, with didgeridoo. We mix the different styles. So yeah, that's what we like to do, and we're looking forward to do it tonight.
okay. No, all right. We better let you rest.
You just have to see it.
No, but I told him the same thing, it's time to get down tonight.
Yeah, you can't miss it. I mean, we came all the way.
Yeah.
And it's going to be so great.
Just for you guys, we're here for you.
Yes.
So just take it.
Okay, with that, I think there's no more questions. So anyway, have a good rest to you. Alright, and of course to the rest of the bands to have a blast tonight. Yep.
We
and,
shall.
Yep, and we definitely are really anticipating a good time tonight. Okay, and with that, members of the press, we've got refreshments at the back, coffee. If you need coffee, we've got coffee.